All right, this match review comes to us from BlckOrb. Orb was 1.1k hours, so in that adept zone of Dead by Daylight where they should know most fundamentals in the game. They're playing Pinhead, who has been kind of their pet project lately. They've been trying to become a better Pinhead. If you remember last week, we got Field Age Reaper, which is one of the best Pinhead mains in the community, to come out and do like a special guest star match review. So hopefully they took a lot of the pointers straight from the mouth of one of the best players into account and see how they improve this week. Yeah, and now you watch me, and I can directly help you. Woo! We do match reviews. The gameplay is meh right now. Keyword right now. That can always change. Always change. We can always work on that. Keyword right now. So you're on Yamaoka Death Pagoda, which is a it's an okay map for both sides, but it does err on the side of killer because it's an eye-shaped map. So there's a big choke point in the middle, that being the sanctum itself, which means it's fairly easy to control the map on a macro level. So that does err on the side of killer. It's like phone a friend. Yeah, it is. It is. And some of you guys play certain killers more than I do. Like Phantom talking about certain demo stuff and that sort of thing. It just helps to have that input, you know? Helps to have input. Yeah. Let's go take a look at the add-ons of your poikes. Okay. These are both good add-ons. Cenobite, good old Pinhead, has a lot of really, really good add-ons. Really hard to go wrong with Pinhead's add-ons, to be honest. There's a couple add-on trees that are fairly useless, but Impaling Wire is great. The Greasy Lens is great. Extra wires and the aura rating. This is my M2 killer build. Keep in mind that Pinhead isn't... all of his attacks end with the M1, so you can use stuff like Sloppy and Surge and perks like that, and they work perfectly fine on him. Perfectly fine on him. This is my M2 killer build, which is Floods, Agi, Pain Reds, and Gift of Pain. So this is fine. This is a good build. Usually I use it on M2 killers, but you know, it is just a build that has generally good synergy, period. So it will be fine on Pinhead, but keep in mind that Pinhead's attacks are all M1s. So like you can use Surge, Sloppy, stuff like that. Better win. What if they don't? You're gonna hate them forever. Look at you use the hashtag slasher. That's so funny. Never mind, you weren't in a game. Yeah, I'm doing match reviews. Doing match reviews, trying to help people consistently improve at the game. That's what we're doing. All right, let's see. Get started. Okay. You're probably trying to hunt the box right now. You're assuming it's going to spawn to your right and not on the other side of the map where they are. Unfortunately, it seems like somebody spawned rather close to you, so that's going to offset that. That's why, like, Lethal can be a really good perk on Pinhead, because you can, like, kind of, without just guesswork, kind of figure out where people spawned. And that sort of thing, because, like, and obviously Lethal Barbecue can help you continue to find the box throughout the match. Keep in mind, remember, if you guys do not remember the numbers, it's 40 meters around you as Pinhead where the box cannot spawn, and it's 16 meters around the survivors where it cannot spawn. So you search the negative space between those, and that's how you find the box consistently. Obviously, aura reading perks help with this tremendously. So, yeah, this will probably come into play later with Floods of Rage, so just keep that in mind. You don't like review without the revu? I did see that too. Yeah, remember, we have Impaling Wire, so you're gonna be... Yeah, there you go. Good stuff. Good stuff. You know what would be interesting? You're using Greasy Lens. I know it's risky to use, like, a full Scourgic build without Agi. Or maybe Gift of Pain. Gift of Pain doesn't really overperform, especially on an M1 killer, but I'm trying to kind of, like... Maybe you can fit in Lethal into this build, because you got Floods of Rage, so you have an aura perk that you can extend with Lethal. And also you have Greasy Lens, which you could extend with Lethal. So maybe Lethal would fit good in this build for you. Might be something worth trying. Maybe worth trying. Yeah, 7, this is the 5th. Yes, yes, yes. Simon is right. React, yep.
You summoned me.
Okay, you're gonna teleport to get immediately on pressure with them.
I came.
Oh, good try though. Good try though. Okay. You see the scratch on it, so you're gonna chase them. Why do you? Okay. That was interesting. That's usually that you knew they went back there. I would have probably checked to the tile first, but you knew better than I did. What did he do? He arrived. He arrived. What's wrong with you? There's a joke I can make there, but I'm not going to.
Your soul apart.
There's a joke that's really bad. I'm gonna keep it to myself. Okay, good. Breaking up the heal. You could have chained her there before she reached that pallet. Yeah, if you had chained her there, you would have had this hit, but now she's, you know, hit a pallet. Now she's extending this chase a lot. I see. That's fine. You had the right idea. It's just slightly off, just the execution. You had the right idea there. We'll just see him arrive. Is that why the hooks are white? Monka. You're kind of like... Reaper would know better than me. You're kind of hooking people really... You're chaining people super far away from yourself. So it's kind of like, even with Impaling Wire, you're hooking people super far away, they break their chains, and then they make it to the resource anyway. I'd probably get a little closer before I start throwing those chains. Just a little bit. It's not like too egregious of a mistake, but when you need to save time, like match time is gen time, so I'd get a little closer before throwing chains. Because essentially she's still just making the resources anyway. Because you're doing them so far away that even, like, essentially you want to be like present by the time the chains break to hit them. There's something to be said for chaining somebody, so like they're so slowed down that by the time they reach the next loop, you're going to hit them before they reach the resource, which is probably what you were attempting. But you're just kind of like misjudging the distance a bit on like when you'll get there. So try to keep that in mind. Lost her there. Yeah, your chase with her has been incredibly long. Because you're chaining her like you're telling while you're like. How long were you in chase with her? Yunjin. Oh my, it has been ooh, this was a very long chase. Yeah, you chased her for about 1.5 minutes, which is the full length of a gen. I don't know if you realize that. You chased her for about 1.5 minutes, which is the full length of a gen. If multiple people were spread out on gens right now, 2 gens should theoretically be popping right now. Without perks, without items, even. So, that was a very, very long chase. Definitely not worth that. Yeah. You do get a pain rescue out of it, at least. But I don't think 90 seconds of pressure on the map unattested is worth that 1 pain res use. I think you're kind of taking the advice Reaper gave you last week, was like go for more shots and kind of like misconstruing it to like just go for more shots, even if it's like not a good idea to throw a chain here, I think is kind of what I'm seeing. Like obviously not with that chase, you did fine there, but like with Yunjin, where you're just like chaining her in between loops, but she's clearly able to make the next loop even if you chain her, but you're still chaining her anyway, you know? You don't miss, yeah, your chains have heavily improved from last week. You're hitting these. You've been putting in the work. Just make sure you know when you should be versus like, you know, like when it would be a bad idea to chain. Don't hit chains just for the sake of hitting chains. Because unless you're running NG thing, like, there is no, like, if you had the right add-ons, you could interrupt that, but you don't have the range add-ons. Range and solve time. There's another good add-on combo on Pinhead, but it's for that specific playstyle. You want to use range solve time. How's she fault into you? You can go for like sniping people solving the box, and it's super fun. It's the add-ons I like to use on him. I think it's what Reaper likes to use, and he is obviously, like I said, one of the best in the world as this character. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that we just had that doctor game where we're kind of talking about the same thing. Now that applies here as well. Very interesting. I don't know why the Ash DC'd. Maybe he just had an actually legit lost internet. There wasn't anything bad here. Unless he just didn't see people coming towards him or something like that. He's like, oh, they're leaving me on hook. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, she said, get down, Mrs. President. That's powerful. Good attempt. Good attempt. You got that floods. Yeah, lethal might be a fun pick for you if you like the lens and this and floods. Like it'd be nice to get more value out of that, and it'll also help you with your box hunting. Hey Bran. Hey If, welcome back. What's going on? Oh, we're doing our match review start because we didn't stream yesterday. This is our usual recording day for match reviews.
They are a waste of good suffering.
Say what, Hif? Was that English? What are you talking about? You sent that a little wide, but like... Wait, here's the box. Definitely grab that. Definitely grab that. I would have grabbed that before kicking, so like he didn't... you know, he didn't potentially grab that out from under you. Just a minor thing. That was weird looking. Oh! Bots are easy chases. You know what's funny? When bots first came out, people thought bots were OP. You believe that? How boosted and terrible you at the video game that you thought bots were OP when they first came out. Like, absolutely ridiculous.
You summoned
Are you
me.
on controller? I'm not. I'm doing match review, I'm not playing.
I came.
Good idea to leave her. She's going towards Shack, which you know is up. You haven't put a lot of pressure on her. So you'd rather go over here. Yeah, like I was playing with one hand. Like, I'm just that good. Good map awareness to go check that, Jen. Which I know is something I've told you before. Like, map awareness is something you need to work on, so it's nice to see that improvement. Not taking that bad chase in the corner of the map, knowing to go check the side where you knew they were. Like, that's good. That's improvement. Happy to see it. Controllers, you know what's funny? I was actually not doing bad. I was actually not doing bad. Yeah, you made that. That was perfect. I'm happy to see that. As one of your previous takeaways being like, work on your macro game, knowing to leave that Ada to come back and get rid of the Death Hook Jane, like, good job. Happy to see it. Can't be mind gamed? Well, you just force them towards a resource and they just mindlessly seek the window or mindlessly seek the pallet. Like, you don't have to mind game them. You just walk at them and they make mistakes. Like, definitely go after Ash here, yeah. There you go. Yeah, let her keep solving the box. At this point, you have your pressure. Let him keep solving the box. Yeah, and homie does it at like 5 in the morning. Terrible. Losing sleep. Not fun. Big waste to the skirt check. I mean, at this point, he has enough snowball that he doesn't need to be like at this point, especially at last gen, I would actually say the opposite, Jack, because like I feel like the quicker hook with Agi to stay on the survivors to keep the last gen from popping is more important than like I'm gonna carry them farther just for essentially hook sloppy butcher. Like that's not. I don't think that's. I think that would be time inefficient actually. It's more important to defend the gens. Especially in this, like, 3-gen situation that they're in. Like, just a quick hook him, kill him, call it a day. I think that was the better option, actually. You have Impaling Mars, so even though she makes the, window, she's gonna have a hard time reaching the next resource because of it. Yeah. Yeah. It is a good improvement. In terms of your macro sense, it's a good improvement. Glad to see it. Going for more shots. Love to see it. Where are you taking her? Why are you taking? Where are you? Bro, where are you going? I know you're going up to the skirt choke, but like, why? Why are you doing this? That could have been so bad. Hey, see the opposite of what I said there. I was like, that's actually, that was scary. I'm like, don't end up dropping the homie just for a skirt. Yeah, I was like, it's probably, at this point, better to just hook. That was scary. Oh, she gave up. Great. Match is over. This Ada that played really safe and did most of the game makes it out. But, you know. In terms of your main takeaways, first off, like I said, your macro game has improved. Very proud of you. Like, you won this game because you said, Ada chasing with me at Shack. Shack pile's still up. It's the opposite side of the map from the gens that I've been pressuring. That's a bad chase. I'm leaving. And you came back, found a Death Gamer, got him out. And then you snowballed the rest of the game because of good macro sense that you previously did not have. Good job. See? That's improvement. That's measurable improvement. That's great. Your chains are better. You're going for chains a bunch, which is really, really good. It's clear that you've been practicing. Which is your main takeaways, though, which we'll lead into here, is make sure you know when it's a good idea to go for a chain. Because you had a 90-second chase with Yunjin because you kept going for chains when she was in between tiles, but the tiles were so close that by the time she would break free of the chain, she was basically under the pallet, and she was essentially safe. And you guys ran across that entire backside of the map where the 3-gen ended up being for like a minute and a half because you just kept throwing chains at like really poor times. Like I said, the point of chaining somebody is so by the time that they break out of the chains, you're getting a hit, or by the time they break out of the chains, they are so far away from the next resource that you can just W at them and hit them before they get to it. If that's not the case, if they're going to make the resource, there's no point to chain them there. There's no point to chain them there. So kind of be a little bit more conscious about when you're going for your chains. Make sure you're like kind of like double checking your brain that one of those two circumstances is going to happen after the chains are broken. So yeah, just keep that in mind. In terms of your other takeaways, like, I know this is kind of anticlimactic, I guess, but like that's literally it. Your macro game, perfect. You made a very sharp decision at the end game that won you the match, which is really good. I don't know. You didn't really make a lot of mistakes here. Obviously, the long chase. I can make that its own takeaway just for all of you who watched the match for a long time. You already know this, but we'll go through it again. Chases in Dead by Daylight should on average be 30 to 50 seconds. If it's getting closer to a minute, you should probably thinking about leaving that chase. Take the pallet, take a couple pallets, kick them, injure the survivor, then leave. Take some sort of pressure out of it, call it a day. Because you should never be donating more time to a chase more than a full minute. So if that's happening, you got to disembark. And you got a little caught up chasing Yunjin for 90 seconds, which is the full length of a gen. So yeah. Well, you're improving very, very well. It's very nice to see.